On November 24th, 2023, a school janitor is making his way through an empty hallway, one that other custodians avoid during the night shift. The high school where this video takes place forbids students from being in this hallway alone after a certain time, and for good reason. This school was built on what was once a cemetery. Throughout the building, old photographs of the burial ground are displayed on the walls, along with fragments of headstones that once stood there. Janitors say the place is haunted. One night, after a strange encounter, a custodian decides to start recording. But as he films, something happens that terrifies him beyond belief. This is his footage. Watch closely.
Alright, I usually don't record while I'm on the job, but this is freaking me out. It's sort of unreal. I'm here at work. I'm here in the janitor's closet. Yeah, let me just show you guys. All right. Just to, I don't know, let you guys know this school was built on a cemetery. I don't know if that helps my situation or not, but previous janitors that have worked here have tried to tell everyone that, you know, every night something happens, some spooky shit, I don't know, paranormal or whatever you want to call it, but yeah, I didn't really believe them until tonight. I was in here cleaning up after some students had thrown a party, but what's been freaking me out is this one right here. No matter where I'm at in the classroom or what I decide to do, it just follows me. And do your thing, you stupid balloon. I got you on camera now, so let's just, see? That right there. Shit. Just ooh, okay. See, no. It just follows me no matter what. Ooh! No, I can't.
As the janitor steps out of the classroom, a red balloon begins to follow him. What makes this even stranger is that the other balloons remain perfectly still, only this one moves toward him. Feeling deeply unsettled, he slowly backs away, before suddenly capturing this.
Ooh! No, I can't.
A dark figure appears in the distance. This shadowy silhouette is visible for less than a second as it seems to sprint past at full speed. It vanishes from sight almost instantly. That alone was enough for the janitor to clock out for the night. Since then, there have been no new updates. Only a short video where the custodian admits he's now too frightened to work alone. Whether it was a ghost or not, the incident keeps replaying in his mind. As I mentioned before, nothing here has been tampered with. So what exactly was caught on camera? For now, that question remains unanswered. In the next clip, a babysitter is watching over a young girl who can be seen in the video quietly playing with her toys.
What you doing over there? Nice.
The reason he begins filming is unsettling. Only moments earlier, the 5-year-old had said something that chilled him to the bone. Wanting to capture the moment, he records as she repeats what she told him. Watch closely.
What was it that you told me earlier about your doll?
When I play hide and seek with my doll, it moves.
You said it moves? that doll? This doll?
Yeah.
You said it moves?
Yeah.
Like you move it, or? What? When does it move?
When you play hide and seek with her.
When you play hide and seek?
Yeah.
Bro.
The eerie-looking doll you see here is said to come alive when played with, but, according to the child, it only moves if you play hide-and-seek with it. Of course, at just 5 years old, her claim could easily be a product of imagination. Still, the babysitter couldn't shake the feeling of curiosity, or dread. Deciding to test the story, he joins the child in a game, all while keeping his camera rolling.
I'm 10.
We're playing hide and seek.
Oh my god. Sadie, you scared me. Don't do that, dude.
Although quite startling, the sitter admits he'd take a jump scare from the family dog over a haunted doll any day. Fortunately, nothing moved, at least not yet. The rest of the night seemed uneventful, until something later left him frozen with fear. After putting the girl to bed, he notices this.
I noticed the dog has been staring at the doll. Looking at it. I'm kind of freaked out right now.
The family dog is staring at the doll. Not just glancing, staring for minutes on end. Even stranger, it keeps its distance, as though unwilling to go near it. Considering what the child had said earlier, the babysitter is deeply unsettled. But only hours later, things take a much darker turn. While napping in a separate room, he's startled by a faint sound coming from the living room, the last place he saw the doll. Camera in hand, he gets up to investigate.
Yo.
One of the toys in the living room suddenly activates on its own, and right beside it sits the doll, motionless, or so it seems. Then, ever so slightly, it begins to move. The head tilts upward in a slow, deliberate motion, as though trying to lock eyes with the lens. And then, it collapses forward. By now, the sitter has seen enough. There's been no follow-up video since that night, but it's not hard to imagine the fear that lingered long after. Was this genuine evidence of something paranormal? Or could there be a rational explanation hidden in the shadows? For now, the truth behind this video remains an unsettling mystery. In this next video, a man named Nick is taking care of his sick grandmother. One night, while checking on her, he captures something that would send a chill down his spine. Now, it's important to mention that Nick's grandmother suffers from Alzheimer's, a condition that sometimes causes her to stand motionless or react to things no one else can see. But on this night, as she stands there in the kitchen, something happens that leaves Nick unsettled. Camera in hand, he records, and this is what he captured. Something on top of the fridge suddenly topples over. The fall is abrupt, and made far more unnerving by the fact that the grandmother's dog begins growling at the same time. But what really amplifies the mystery is when Nick reveals exactly what had fallen.
Alright, so this is in response to last night. My grandma loves to collect little figurines. One of my grandma's little angels fell off the fridge last night. You see how far back they are. Genuinely. I mean, the significance of an angel falling and not legitimately anything else she has.
It was a small statue. If it had been sitting toward the back of the fridge, how could it have tipped over on its own? Nick has no answer. But after replaying the footage again and again, he notices something even stranger.
Midnight. Alright, I wanted to show you guys something. Honestly, I'm a bit in disbelief. But no, I'm pretty sure it's just a plug-in charger. I brought my girlfriend Claire here so she can help demonstrate. But can you try to step in front of that? And so it just does that. Move away. So that comment says that the Roomba doesn't do that unless someone's in front of it. My question is, like, why was he doing it last night? It is kind of creepy with a smiley face and everything. Even when it gets to the edge, it does that. But it was on flat ground.
In the video, the Roomba in the kitchen moves back and forth, just like it would if someone were standing directly in front of it, blocking its path. But there's nothing there. Could the vacuum have been detecting something unseen? Nick can't shake the feeling that something is wrong. Ever since that night, the kitchen has left him with an overwhelming sense of unease. And because his grandmother's only television is nearby, he often finds himself watching late at night, within view of the space that now makes him so uncomfortable. Then, one night while alone, something happens again.
So, I was watching my show, and after last night, I'm definitely not leaving these lights on. But I was watching my show, and there's nothing there.
Both of the family's dogs stand rigid, staring toward the kitchen. Their eyes remain locked on the same spot, as if something, or someone, is there. The behavior is especially disturbing given a story Nick remembers from his late grandfather. Before passing away last year, his grandfather had once claimed to see Nick's grandmother standing in the kitchen with the lights off, only to realize no one was there. Incidents like this have cemented Nick's fear of the space, and on this night, that fear deepens. After putting the dogs away, he starts sorted by the sound of the ice maker running on its own. He begins filming, and moments later, something happens.
Whoa. Whoa. Yo. Oh, that's cool. Jesus!
After following Nick into the living room, the Roomba suddenly flips over. There's nothing in its path, yet it turns completely upside down, almost as if an unseen force had pushed it. Startled, Nick stops recording and immediately uploads the footage online, right after posting the previous video. Viewers quickly spot more oddities. First, the Roomba had been behaving strangely earlier, moving in a perfectly straight line instead of its usual patterned turns. Second, it never paused or reversed when nearing the stairs, something it had done before without fail. If the earlier events hadn't already unnerved Nick, this incident certainly did. Nothing significant has happened since. But for now, like so many other strange encounters, this one remains an open mystery. On February 20th of 2025, a mother named Rachel begins filming her child's balloon after witnessing something that leaves her deeply shaken. Hoping it will happen again, she keeps her camera trained on it.
Oh my gosh. It's doing it again. It just stopped.
For reasons she can't explain, the balloon drifts down the hallway before coming to a stop, right in front of the basement door. At first glance, it looks harmless enough, just a balloon floating around the house. But according to Rachel, this is no ordinary occurrence. She claims the balloon always ends up at the basement entrance, and never goes inside unless her young son follows it down.
Andrew. Andrew. Andrew.
In previous incidents, it would stop just shy of crossing the threshold, but on this day it floats all the way in, and only when Rachel's son starts to follow does it react. Some might suspect an air current or draft is pushing it toward the basement. Yet no matter where the balloon starts, whether upstairs or in the farthest room of the house, it somehow follows the exact same path, and always stops at nearly the same spot. To Rachel, this pattern feels far from random. The strange events don't end there. In fact, just recently something else happened, and Rachel caught it on camera around 9:30 at night.
Babe.
Quiet! Quiet!
The balloon drifts upward from the basement, moving directly toward Rachel at the top of the stairs. But instead of continuing past her, it stops dead in its tracks. It doesn't bob, sway, or drift as you'd expect from something buoyant. It simply freezes in place, almost as if suspended by an invisible hand. Even the dogs in the background seem disturbed, keeping their distance from the scene. By now, the family is convinced there's something unnatural about the balloon. They've considered throwing it out, but their son refuses to part with it. Thinking it will eventually deflate, they decide to keep it for a few more days. But only a day or two later, Rachel experiences what she calls the most unsettling moment of her life. She's home alone when it happens. At the top of the basement stairs, in the corner of the doorframe, she spots something, a shape she can't quite identify. It isn't until she reviews the footage more closely that she sees it clearly, the curve of a forehead leading down to a pair of eyes staring back at her. When slowed down frame by frame, the image becomes even more chilling. Whatever, or whoever, was there has left both Rachel and her husband deeply disturbed. If the balloon hadn't already convinced them something was wrong with the basement, this encounter certainly did. Given all that's happened, they can't help but wonder if the same presence was responsible for the balloon's bizarre movements. Maybe it wasn't drifting along due to physics, but instead being guided. Since that night, Rachel has locked the basement door, and she has no plans to open it anytime soon. But with no clear explanation, the question remains: what exactly did Rachel and her family witness inside their home? For now, this mystery remains unsolved.